Bee Valley, located within the L.A. Linden National Park in central Sulawesi, Indonesia, is a site of immense archaeological intrigue. It hosts a mysterious collection of hundreds of cylindrical stone jars and numerous humanoid statues whose origins and purposes remain unknown. These megaliths were first introduced to the international scientific community in the early 20th century by missionary and ethnographer Albert S. E. Creek, who documented their existence. He noted that local communities would make offerings to these statues, seeking blessings for a good harvest or rain during droughts. However, the locals themselves were unaware of who created the megaliths, claiming they had existed long before their ancestors settled in the region. Modern estimates suggest there are over 400 megalithic artifacts scattered across the Bada, Basoa, and Napu valleys in central Sulawesi. Among these, the giant stone jars, known as kalamba, number around 400, while humanoid statues, referred to as arca, are fewer, with only about 30 identified. These artifacts are found in both clusters and isolated locations, indicating a widespread and organized cultural practice. Despite their significance, no clear evidence connects these megaliths to any known historical civilization in the region. Researchers estimate the structures to be at least 5,000 years old. The statues are notable for their distinctive features, often characterized by large heads, straight torsos without legs, and prominently carved genitalia, with hand placements emphasizing the lower body area. Some female statues appear to depict pregnancy, adding a layer of mystery to their purpose. The largest statue, called Pelindo, meaning the entertainer, stands over 15 feet (4.2 meters) tall and weighs an estimated 10 tons. Remarkably, similarities have been drawn between these statues and other megalithic artifacts worldwide, such as the stone statues of St. Augustine in Colombia and the Moai statues of Easter Island, both of which share comparable postures and features. Connections have also been noted with carvings at Göbekli Tepe and Karahan Tepe in Turkey, some of the oldest known megalithic sites, suggesting a potentially global prehistoric culture. Equally perplexing are the gigantic stone jars of Bee Valley, which continue to baffle researchers and locals alike. These jars, found in the remote La Linden National Park, range in estimated age from 1,000 to 5,000 years. Despite their impressive size, the stones used to create them are not native to the area, implying they were transported over great distances, a feat that would have been extraordinarily challenging given the era's limited technology. The jars, often covered by heavy stone lids, were not intended for bathing, despite their local name, kalamba, meaning bathtubs for a king. Some researchers believe they were used as tombs, but this theory is questioned, as many jars are too shallow to accommodate a human body. Adding to the mystery, some jars exhibit intricate carvings of animals and humanoid figures, with designs that do not match any species native to the region's tropical forests. Horizontal lines on the jars suggest an advanced manufacturing technique, possibly involving technology capable of softening hard granite into a malleable state. Some speculate the jars may have been used for mineral processing, supported by the presence of granular gold in the area. Burn marks observed on certain jars hint at the possibility of metallurgical activities. Interestingly, parallels can be drawn with the plain of jars in Laos, located over 1,900 miles, 3,000 kilometers away. This site features around 3,000 large stone jars, similarly scattered across the landscape. Like their Indonesian counterparts, these jars are cylindrical, with rims at the top and lids at some sites. Both regions share legends of giants associated with the jars, and both exhibit carvings with symbolic designs. In Laos, local lore attributes the jars to a race of giants led by King Kunchung, who supposedly used them to store and consume rice wine in celebration of military victories. Despite ongoing archaeological efforts, much about these enigmatic jars and statues remains shrouded in mystery. Were they created by an advanced prehistoric civilization with lost technology, a race of giants, or an unknown cultural group? The similarities between these artifacts across distant regions raise questions about potential ancient global connections. These relics continue to challenge our understanding of history and the capabilities of early civilizations, leaving us to wonder about the secrets they hold. The mystery surrounding the Bee Valley megaliths deepens when considering the broader implications of their design, purpose, and cultural significance. The stone jars, particularly, are unlike anything found in most ancient societies. Theories about their function range from ceremonial use, burial purposes, and storage to metallurgical or even astronomical uses. Some researchers propose the jars served as burial urns. Given the discovery of human remains, pottery, and other artifacts in and around some jars. However, this does not explain the jars that are too shallow or those with interior ridges dividing their space into sections, further confounding this theory. The local myths and oral traditions offer a tantalizing but ambiguous perspective. Villagers in the region have long recounted stories about the jars being connected to a race of giants or a forgotten civilization. These legends parallel the stories from Laos, where the Plain of Jars also features myths of giant kings and immense celebrations involving vast amounts of rice wine stored in the jars. Such consistent themes across disparate locations suggest the possibility of shared cultural motifs or a lost connection between these regions in antiquity. The jars themselves exhibit construction methods that remain unexplained by modern archaeology. The stone used, often granite, requires significant skill and tools to carve. Yet, the tools necessary for such precise work are absent in the archaeological record. The possibility of stone softening, a process speculated by some fringe researchers, implies a level of technological advancement far beyond what is currently attributed to ancient societies. Additionally, the presence of horizontal grooves resembling those made by rotary tools on the jars raises questions about whether ancient people possessed knowledge or devices capable of such techniques. The humanoid statues of Bee Valley further complicate the narrative. Their abstract yet evocative designs, featuring exaggerated heads, minimalistic torsos, and emphasized reproductive features, seem to hold symbolic importance. The consistent hand placements, often across the lower abdomen or genital region, hint at ritualistic or fertility-related significance. Moreover, some statues bear distinct expressions, with certain features like slanted eyes, open mouths, or frowns, suggesting individuality or a storytelling element. Scholars have also pointed out the global similarities between the Bee Valley statues and other megalithic art forms. The Moai statues of Easter Island, the carvings of San Agustin in Colombia, and even figures from Göbekli Tepe in Turkey all exhibit striking resemblances in posture, proportion, and symbolic design. These similarities could suggest a shared cultural origin, an ancient migratory or trade network, or even convergent cultural evolution. Even more enigmatic are the carved animals and humanoid designs found on some jars and lids. These depictions do not correspond to species native to the tropical jungles of central Sulawesi, leading to speculation about what they represent. Some theorists suggest they might depict extinct animals or creatures from mythological traditions lost to time. Others propose they could be symbolic representations of spiritual beliefs or otherworldly beings. The logistics of transporting and placing these massive jars and statues in the remote, densely forested mountains of central Sulawesi add another layer of mystery. With no local sources for the stone, the megaliths must have been quarried and transported from distant locations. This would require not only an organized workforce, but also advanced knowledge of engineering and transportation methods, which are not evident in the archaeological record of the region. The connection to the Plain of Jars in Laos raises even more questions. Both regions feature similar designs, materials, and mysterious purposes, yet they are separated by thousands of kilometers and vastly different cultures. If these jars and statues were indeed the work of a single ancient civilization or cultural exchange, it would challenge current understandings of prehistoric human mobility, trade networks, and technological capabilities. Adding to the intrigue is the role of geopolitics in preserving and studying these sites. For example, in Laos, the heavy bombing during the Secret War has left unexploded ordnance scattered across the Plain of Jars, hindering archaeological research and preservation efforts. Similarly, The Bee Valley megaliths remain underexplored due to their remote location and limited resources for excavation and study. Ultimately, the Bee Valley megaliths, with their colossal jars and evocative statues, stand as enduring testaments to the ingenuity and mystery of ancient human societies. They invite us to reconsider the narratives of human history and question how much we truly understand about the capabilities and interconnectedness of our ancestors. Were these artifacts simply local creations, or do they point to a larger, perhaps global, cultural framework that existed in prehistoric times? These questions remain unanswered, ensuring that Bee Valley continues to captivate and puzzle those who seek to unravel its secrets.